Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering, off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, I'm playing a series of these I've been doing for a little while now. I go over their trial food and drink items. I eat stuff and drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This is so pretty, I almost hate to eat it, or drink it, or both. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? Well, it happens to be my brand new, boom, Lilac shirt, or Lilac, I don't know, because I thought I heard him pronounce it Lilac, but I think it's Lilac, because that's a V, not an A. But yeah, it's a cool design. I like the very sort of kind of retro automaton sort of look. But what the fuck is Lilac? You go with whatever you want to pronounce it as. They are a band out of North Carolina, kind of in interesting sort of like, kind of definitely blending of styles. I guess if nothing else, sort of new metal. You know, they have a mixture of rap and clean vocals. They actually have two vocalists, a guy and a girl. But they also definitely incorporate, you know, some like industrial elements. They have a keyboardist and stuff. So very cool band. I ran into these guys. I was out to see a band called Killer's Confession a few days ago, and these were one of the touring bands with them. I'd never heard of them before. They blew me away. Like, it was one of those things where it was like, from the first song, it was like, I wasn't a fan because I didn't know who they were. I knew who they were. I became a fan. I liked them so much, I got, obviously, a shirt. I also picked up a copy of their EP. I went over there, got some pictures with them. I even got some videos of their performance. Happen to be on this channel as well, just in case maybe you want to check them out. Even nothing else, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction, I guess, as far as their music goes, because I just don't know that much about them at the moment. But, like, I can at least point you to, like, their channel or something, so. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? Why is it so damn pretty? Well, I was out doing some stuff, and I was kind of in an area that I don't usually go to, and I wanted some coffee, and I thought about maybe going to the Starbucks that, you know, it happened to be. I was like, Starbucks. So I looked it up on my phone, and there was this place, happened to be called, I have to be very careful, Boom, Fulla Beans, which is a cool little, like, coffee and sandwich shop. And I ended up foregoing the coffee because it turns out they have milkshakes. And this happens to be their Milli Vanilli shake, because how could I not get that? Their Milli Vanilli shake consists of vanilla, white chocolate ganache, wafers, mint leaf, cotton candy, and then they also added on chocolate pretzels, too. Okie doke. Let's get a... Oh, man. I mean, we'll just... Yeah. I gotta be kind of careful with it because there's so much going on. But it looks like... It looks like this. Ha 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 ha. All right. Where to start? I do like how this is effectively just diabetes in a cup. I mean, all of the candy stuff is going to be good because, I mean, you know, chocolate pretzels are good. Wafers are good. Oh, I like that. Yeah. I gotta say, too, I mean, come on, look at the fucking preparation on this thing. This is gorgeous. 4 marks to the girl who made it for me. I did not realize this is what it was going to look like. They didn't have pictures or anything, and I was just like, oh, I just figured, you know, they just crush all this shit in there. Cotton candy is fine. I've never been huge into cotton candy. Even as a kid, I didn't like it all that much. I don't actively dislike it, but it's just a bit too ethereal. But, you know, it kind of adds to the visual. Let's get into the meat of this whole thing. Ooh. That's nice. Yeah. I mean, fundamentally, after you get past everything else, it's definitely a vanilla shake. But I will say, for one thing, I think it's picking up certain accents from, the stuff up top. But beyond that, it tastes a little bit richer than I would say like kind of the average vanilla shake does. Um, maybe a little extra sweetness. I don't know. Maybe that's from like the white chocolate ganache. I don't know. I don't claim to be an expert on these things. I just talk about what they taste like. Um, but yeah, there's definitely like a little extra depth, like a different type of sweetness to it, and it's not like substantially different from a vanilla shake. Like it's definitely a vanilla shake at its core, but just with a little bit extra, a little something to give it a little extra oomph, kind of carry it through, make it feel a little bit more special. I like this. It drinks really smooth. It doesn't, sometimes with vanilla shakes, if you get them from somewhat shitty places, that vanilla, probably like an artificial vanilla flavor or whatever, it kind of burns through a little bit, and it gets kind of a fucky taste. That's not the case here. It's really nice, really smooth. That's just a really nice vanilla shake. Like, there's fundamentally nothing that I dislike about that. I will say, the one thing I was kind of hoping for a little bit more, and I get it, but I was hoping the mint aspect would play a bigger role. I love mint, it's definitely one of my big things. And I love a mint vanilla shake, So I was kind of hoping that would play a little bit stronger of a role. It's in there a little bit. You get like a little accent of it here and there, but it doesn't do. If you're not looking for it, it's easy to miss with everything else going on. But no, it's nice, and I am just gonna push all this stuff in there. Yeah, and just let it all take in the milkshake. But no, that's a nice vanilla milkshake. I mean, all the stuff on top, it makes it look pretty and everything. That's good and well. But if the shake itself doesn't work, well, but that's not the case here. It's really tasty. All right, well, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I have to go with yes and yes. It's a nice shake. It's a solid vanilla milkshake with a bunch of extra stuff on it. Obviously, if you're going in for a more like traditional, this obviously has a somewhat of a dessert aspect to it with all the extra stuff. As far as the extra stuff goes, it's fun. I like the visual appeal of it. Plus, I love some chocolate covered pretzels, if I'm being honest. It doesn't really add all that much to the drinking experience of, just the shake. But again, at the very least, the actual shake itself tastes really nice. So I think that I would probably go over there if I around this way again. I would probably go through and try out one of their other shakes or one of their other menu items before I made my way back around to this one. Because at the end of the day, it's a nice vanilla milkshake, but it's a vanilla milkshake, Not shitting on a vanilla milkshake, but, there's better stuff in the world. But I do think it's a nice one, and it's a nicely executed version of it. And then, yeah, you just get a bunch of weird stuff on top of it that just makes it look cool. So, and if I'm recommending it, like I said, it depends on what you want out of your milkshake. This is very clearly, it's one of those things, it's meant to be very, visually popping and, something you can go over there and put on Instagram or what have you. I'm going to upload my pictures on Facebook, so. So it has that effect to it. But, again, like the fundamental aspect of it is like, all right, is it still a good vanilla milkshake? And yeah, in fact, I would say it's definitely a well above average vanilla milkshake. It's not the best vanilla milkshake I've ever had, because I've had some really fancy ones in my time. But that's solid. There's nothing to dislike about it, other than, again, maybe if you're not into like all the stuff on top, maybe it feels a little bit too busy. Like I said, I would have liked a little bit more mint. I'm just saying. But I do think it's a nice thing. And it's one of those things, if you see it and it looks appealing to you, I think it's going to work perfectly fine for you. If it doesn't seem like something you're going to be into, I think it'll pretty much match that, that perception. But it's good. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of the year. Folks, go over there yourselves a truly Milli Vanilli-tastic rest of your life? No, let's not do that. That doesn't seem like a good plan. But, final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But, what you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to do. Folks, what's your personal favorite type of milkshake? You know, are you one of the three classics, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, or do you go a little bit fancier? I think for me, if I can do it, I'm always going to go for a mint chip. Because, I love mint chip ice cream. It's like my favorite fucking ice cream. But I've had other really good ones too. And, some of the fruity ones are really nice. So, but let me know your personal opinion. I'd be interested to hear about it. Anyway,